Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about hand arthritis and a simple exercise that you can do in the comfort of your own home to halt the progression of your hand arthritis, to retain as much movement, mobility and function in your hand as you possibly can. And we know that's important for just the everyday conveniences of life and also to allow you to keep doing the things that you love doing. So before I get into what the exercise is, let me tell you what it stops and why it works. So I want to talk to you about what I call the loop of doom. Now, the loop of doom is essentially the process by which our hand becomes more and more immobile due to the build-up of calcification. So we all know that with arthritis that you get an increased stiffness and that makes movement more difficult. Now, when our hand and joint isn't moving, it also increases the build-up of calcification in the joints. So that's where we can get into a downward spiral. If we're not moving our hand and joints, we get a build-up of calcification. The more the calcification builds up, the more rigid and stiff our hand and joints become, which means we can't move them as much, which means that we get an increased build-up in calcification. Now you may see that, sometimes we get the knobbly knuckles or possibly even deformed joints. Much of that can be attributed to this build-up in calcification. And it can be got rid of and it can be stopped. And I'm going to show you how. Now, one of the things that we use with our clients is vibration massage. And it's absolutely fabulous, has 4 primary ways that it works to produce some amazing benefits. So let's talk about those ways that it works. Number 1, vibration massage works to improve your relaxation. Now, if we're in pain or tight or stressed, we're in fight and flight, and the body is not working the way that it's supposed to be working. So we need to work on relaxation to allow the flow in our body to return. And the vibration massage very, very much works on alleviating that stress and increasing that relaxation. Number 2, the vibration massage works to improve the blood circulation or blood flow. And we need good blood flow in our hand and joints because this is what brings our essential nutrients and oxygen into the hand that allows it to be healthy. The third way it works is boosting lymphatic flow. Now, what is lymphatic flow? Lymphatic flow is essentially the process by which our body removes cellular waste and toxins and reduces inflammation. Now, the lymphatic system needs movement for it to move it. It's not like a heart, it doesn't have its own pump. So if we end up getting rigid or stiff joints or any part of our body that's not moving, then the lymphatic system isn't able to work and isn't able to get rid of those toxins, which means we get increased inflammation, which is also contributing to the arthritis. Now, the fourth way that vibration massage benefits is that it improves fascia health. What's fascia? Fascia is the connective tissue that allows your body to glide the way that it should. So if you do this with your hand, just rub it back and forth on your skin and you notice that it should be moving quite freely. Now, it's the connective tissue between your skin and your muscle that allows it to do that. In your joints, the connective tissue is also required to allow it to move freely without restriction. So fascia, when it's healthy, is soft and stretchy and spongy, and when it's damaged it can get knotty and tight, which means that the movement is restricted and it can also be painful. So we want to restore fascia health as well. So vibration massage works on all of these 4 ways for a number of benefits. The glide and movement is restored in your hand. It breaks down that calcification and eliminates it, like we mentioned. It increases that joint mobility. It also works to reduce the pain if you're experiencing any pain. In fact, during vibration massage, you'll find that after a couple of 3 minutes, whatever pain you've got will most likely be dissipating and disappear altogether. And also, we end up getting a good night's sleep more often than not. So many of our clients have said that when they started doing this vibration massage in the evening, an hour or 2 before bed, they started sleeping through the night for the first time in ages. Now, we know that that's not to be underestimated because sleep is the time that we do our most healing, rejuvenation and repair. So very, very important things. Now, what's these exercises that you can do in the comfort of your own home? We use a very cool little device called a Flow Orb, which is a vibrating and oscillating massage ball, which has been specifically designed for these purposes. Now, it has 3 modes on it. The very first mode is vibration, which is for the lymphatic system to work, or boosting lymphatic flow and opening up our lymphatic nodes, lymph nodes. The next 2 modes are for the fascia health, and mode 2 is an intermittent pulse, and mode 3 is an oscillation. Both of them are great for fascia health, and you just choose whichever one feels better for you at whatever time you're using it. That's your best indication of what's going to work. So it takes about 20 to 30 minutes a day. Really, really simple to do wherever you are. Easy to take the ball wherever you are, so you never need be without it. And it's very, very enjoyable to actually use. So you won't find that you're trying to avoid it for any particular reason. How do we use it? We pop the ball onto mode 1, and strangely enough, we're not going to put the ball in the hands first. We're going to put it in the crook of the elbow. So why are we putting it in the crook of the elbow? Very simply, you have a lymph node, very important lymph node in here, and by putting the ball in there on vibration, we're opening up the lymph node, which means that when we do start to work the hands, we are able to get rid of or release whatever cellular waste is in the hand, and even that calcification. It opens up the dam, I guess you could say. Now, when you've got the ball in here, you want to make sure that it's very relaxed. Don't be grasping onto it too tight. You want to make sure that your shoulder is relaxed. It works really, really well to just be sitting down with a cushion under you, and maybe even having a nice cup of tea or watching your favourite program on telly, but just being really, really relaxed. Leave that there for about 10 to 15 minutes. The ball has an automatic cycle of about 15 minutes, so it will switch off automatically then. And when it does, that's time to move on to phase 2. What's phase 2? Push the ball onto either mode 2 or 3 based on what I mentioned before for the fascia. And then it's so simple. Just hold the ball in your hands. Most of my clients like to hold it just like this with both hands at the same time. Saves time if they're wanting to do both hands, and also feels really, really nice. Now make sure that you've got all your fingers around it and that you're getting the vibration through the whole hand, especially in the areas that are the most sore. Make sure that your thumbs are on it as well. And if you've got particularly sore thumbs, within the cycle, which is the 12 to 15 minutes that we spoke about, you may also just want to roll the ball around those areas which are most sore. Most of my clients just like to hold it in their hand like that for about the 12 to 15 minutes and find that it works an absolute charm. So once you've done that, it's done. It's that simple. And as I mentioned, just do that daily. Now, it feels great. You'll also find that wherever else in your body you've got is tight or sore or stiff, that the ball works on that as well. So it's not just for your hands, it can be for anywhere else in your body as well. Frequently used on the shoulders, the back, the knees, even on the feet for plantar fasciitis, which is works an absolute charm as well. A couple of other points to note. With your arthritis, please do make sure that you are having enough water intake of good quality water each day. A lot of people with arthritis are finding that the symptoms are much worse when they're not getting enough water, so do keep your water intake up. And 71% of people that have got arthritis are also finding that adding a dietary supplement of boron into their diet makes a big difference. After about 2 to 3 months, it does take some time. So all in all, know that this daily practice does work. Do it as often as you possibly can. As I mentioned, daily is ideal. It took a while for the arthritis to develop. It will take a while before you start to see the effects reversed, but it can actually happen. So go forth and enjoy it. If you don't have your Flow Orb yet, make sure you pop over to my website at risingvibration.com and get yours today. And if you're wanting some boron as well, you can also pick that up there for yourself too. Thank Thanks so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you next time.